Hi, and this is the chapter 14 lecture, and this is part 3, religious dietary laws. So, religious dietary laws also are a part of our food habits and culture. Let's start with the Jewish people. The Jewish people are divided into 3 groups. The Orthodox Jews have strict observance of all of the religious laws, including the dietary laws. The second group is the conservatives with less strict observance. And the Reform group is the third group. The Reform group has less ceremonial emphasis and very minimal general use of the religious dietary laws. Kosher means that meat comes from animals that chew their cud and have cloven hooves. The only meat allowed is the meat that comes from animals that chew their cud and have cloven hooves. No pork, rabbit, or birds of prey. No pork, no rabbit, and no birds of prey. Birds of prey are things like eagles, hawks, and owls. Meat and milk are not to be eaten at the same meal. So, for example, when would we have meat and milk together? Well, we would have milk as a beverage and maybe a sandwich with meat. But someone who is Jewish could either skip the meat sandwich if they wanted to drink the milk, or they could eat the meat sandwich and choose another beverage. So, lasagna with meat and sauce. Because of the meat and cheese both in it, they cannot have the lasagna with meat and sauce. So that's a no. Meat and milk are not to be eaten at the same meal or prepared with the use of the same dishes. Orthodox Jews have 2 sets of dishes. The Jewish people also do not eat shellfish or crustaceans, so no lobsters, no clams, no shrimp, no oysters. Only fish with fins and scales are allowed, and the fish may be eaten with meat or dairy meals. Shellfish and crustaceans are avoided. Eggs can be used with either meat or dairy meals. So, for example, you could give a Jewish child an egg and a bowl of cereal with milk for a meal. No eggs with a blood spot may be used. Representative foods are things like bagels. Blintzes are thin, filled, rolled pancakes. Challah bread. Gefilte fish. The fish is chopped, seasoned, and then they stuff it back into the skin and bake it. Kasha is buckwheat kernels. Knishes are pastries that are filled with ground meat or cheese. Lox is smoked salted salmon, and matzo is flat unleavened bread. Strudel is a thin pastry that is filled with fruit and nuts. It's rolled and baked. Now we're going to talk about the Muslims. Their dietary laws come from the Quran. The laws are binding and must be followed at all times, even during pregnancy, hospitalization, and travel. They also apply to visitors of the country. The Muslims eat no pork or birds of prey. Kosher meat is okay for them to eat. They consider it halal. Kosher meat is halal. And representative foods, alcohol is strictly prohibited. Kosher meat is halal and they have no pork and no alcohol. Alcohol is strictly prohibited. Representative foods are bulgur, which is wheat. Falafel is ground soaked beans that are formed into shapes and fried. Fataya is something like a pizza. And kibbeh is a meat dish with lamb. Pilaf is sauteed and steamed bulgur or rice. Tabbouleh Tabbouleh or tabbouleh is a salad made from soaked bulgur with chopped tomatoes. They use parsley, mint, green onion, olive oil, and lemon juice. We'll talk about the influence of festivals. So, festivals influence the Muslim food habits. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Muslim year. It is fasting from sunrise to sunset. Ramadan is fasting from sunrise to sunset. Now, even if you're a visitor to this country, you have to observe Ramadan. You can't have anything to eat or drink from sunrise to sunset, and everybody has to do this, even people who are pregnant, even people who are hospitalized cannot receive IV fluids from sunrise to sunset. The traditional feast is the evening breakfast, and they eat that at night. And people may have complications from not eating or drinking all day. They can get dehydrated. Somebody who has diabetes might have a low blood sugar. We have Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Fitr is a 3-day festival at the end of Ramadan. Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Fitr is a 3-day festival at the end of Ramadan. Okay. Thanks for watching.